Good evening, folks. It's Diamond with the Oppenheimer Ranch Project and Magnetic Reversal News, bringing you a magnetic excursion update Thursday, August 22nd, around 8:30 p.m. Mountain Time, 2024. It is the sixth eruption on the Reykjanes Peninsula since December, and this is a spectacular fissure eruption, multiple kilometers long, huge amount of lava being extruded here. Absolutely spectacular. Keep calm. It's boom time. Several feet of hail falls in Colorado in only 15 minutes. Can you believe that? Hail piled up like snow on Tuesday after several feet fell in just 15 minutes around Cascade, Colorado. Take a look. I really don't think we need the audio there. Well, that is not it. Well, needless to say, the hail event produced an interesting weather phenomenon called hail fog. This phenomenon occurs when excessive hail cools the surface temperature to the dew point, forcing condensation. They don't have a picture here, and it was on the video, but things have changed. Here's the full forecast. Dangerous heat continues in the southern plains. Dry conditions and gusty winds bring fire weather to the Great Basin. The ongoing heat wave with high temperatures in the upper 90s and triple digits will remain over the southern plains into the weekend, while the media is silent on the record cold across the rest of the country. I can't believe it. The heat wave down in Texas may break dozens of additional daily records. Elevated to critical fire weather conditions are forecast today over the Great Basin and intermontane west due to dry air, dry thunderstorms, and gusty winds. But it appears as if it's about to start raining here. Let me show you what I'm talking about the temperature. So let me just move this up to the 22nd. And look at how cold it is in the west and the rest of the country. They're talking about this little hot spot here, but they're not talking about the rest of the country, which is going to get very cold by Friday, especially in the west. Look at that. Absolutely insane. Let's go to the standard radar here, and you can see a lot of the rain is going to be happening in the west. Not a lot of severe weather for the U.S. Maybe a little clipper up there in Minnesota. That would be Tuesday. And so, very moderate pattern for the next few days. Quick look at seismicity over at the Pacific Northwest Seismic Network. You can see huge amounts of activity still at St. Helens. 61 quakes in the last 30 days, probably 40 in the last few weeks. A slight uptick as well at Mount Hood. And a 4.7 magnitude earthquake rattles Hawaii amid a busy week of seismic activity, waiting for an imminent eruption there. As we look at seismic activity worldwide, very low-level activity. Everywhere except for the Reykjanes Peninsula. Thousands of quakes in the last 6 or 7 hours since the eruption began, shortly after the seismic swarm began. So we've got a huge amount of seismic activity as the major eruption is ongoing. Emergency declared after the volcano erupts in Iceland, creating major fissures and fast-moving lava flows. The large fissure opened up in the Reykjanes Peninsula 4 kilometers wide. Lava is already spreading over a large area. As we showed out the outset, we've got this live streaming. I don't know how good the quality of this video is going to be because we've got huge amounts of bandwidth we're eating up here. So check out the live stream, and hopefully we're not overloading the system. Here is the Svartsengi volcano update. The awaited eruption started late at night on the 22nd of August, 2024 local time. Magma pushed its way up to the surface and started to erupt from new fissures in the Sundanukas crater between Stora Skålfell and Slangenfell, about 3 kilometers east of the Blue Lagoon. Earthquake swarm indicating rapid rise of magma towards the surface began at 20:48, and the eruption began just about 45 minutes later. The initial eruptive fissure was 1.4 kilometers long and quickly expanded to 4 kilometers, extending southwest and northeast. as the thunder in the distance appears to be getting closer and the rain begins to fall. That's not the only activity happening in Iceland. There's a glacial flood on the Skafta River. Civil defense level of uncertainty has been issued. This means that there may be some eruptions happening under the Vatnajökull Glacier. Could be Bardabunga, could be Grimsvötn. It's actually a region in between the two. It's hard to tell because it's under the glacier. Nonetheless, a Jökullaups, or glacial outburst flood, is underway as well. And for the rest of the worldwide volcano news update, we've got Marapi to 14,000 feet, Ducono to 8,000 feet, Reventador 15,000 foot puff, Nivato de Ruiz 21,000 foot puff, Fuego to 15, White Island to 7,000, Sungay to 19,000, Reventador 15,000, Fuego to 15, White Island to 7, Sabancaya to 25,000, Sokorijima, no, that's Swanosima, 7,000 foot puff. Svartsvangi, ongoing eruption, we just told you about it, and Sangay wrapping up the list to 20,000 feet. Quick look at space weather. It's been very quiet the last 24 hours. Lots of sunspots, no activity. KP below 3, all is quiet on the sun. SpaceX delays the launch of Polaris Dawn private spacewalk mission on August 27th. Polaris Dawn mission will wait one more day for launch, and it is one of the most historic spacewalks in history, and hopefully it goes off without a hitch. The North Star Polaris is covered in spots in the first close-up image. Take a look. The technology is getting amazing. Apparently, there are sunspots on Polaris. The orbit and dynamical mass of Polaris, observations with the Shara array. All the links to all the articles in the paper will be below. Wow, it's pouring. He stumbled into a large tusk in a Mississippi creek. It turned out to be the first of its kind discovery. This is a Younger Dryas catastrophe tusk in a Mississippi creek. Yes, from a mammoth. A Colombian mammoth at that. And this is in Madison County, Wisconsin. The entire tusk. This guy is a legend. Why climate change models are wrong, according to a bombshell study? Well, Leah and I will be exposing all of the fraud tomorrow and what really controls the climate on our radio show on Revolution Radio and Studio B, noon Mountain Time, with a replay on Magnetic Reversal News at 8 p.m. Make sure... Oh, actually, that's a day. I'm a day ahead. The radio show's Saturday. Tomorrow night's the big night. Mark Morano exposes the corruption and lies on Oppenheimer Ranch project at 8 p.m. 24 hours from now. Make sure you hit the notification so you don't miss the show. This is one of the most important interviews I've done recently, and I think it will be quite an eye-opener for a lot of you. And that's a boom to knowledge. Please share this video. We are shadow banned. We need your help to grow. Become a Patreon. Support the work we do. And please do not miss the Mark Morano Great Reset Green Fraud interview tomorrow night. We've already got the Great Reset Wikipedia underneath here. We've already been demonetized, so consider a small donation. And that's a boom to knowledge. We love each and every one of you. Be safe.